Multi-digit multiplication with number chips. This is the pirate-themed version. So this is a digital lesson that walks students through the steps of multiplying with larger numbers. So when you multiply with larger numbers, you want to line them up in the ones place, the same way you do when you're adding or subtracting. And you want to place the number with the largest number of digits in the top row. So we're going to start with just a 3-digit by 1-digit. So we're going to always start multiplying in the second row with the number in the ones place. In this case, there's only one number. So we're going to multiply from right to left, 3 times 3, 3 times 2, and then 3 times 5. The next slide will show them what that looks like. So we're going to multiply 3 times 3 first, and we get 9. And then 3 times 2, and this is actually 3 times 20. That's why the 6 would be in the tens place for 60. So it's 3 times 3, 3 times 2, and then 3 times 5, going from left to right. And we get a product of 1,569. We're going to start out with some smaller numbers, a little bit easier problems, and it'll move to more difficult problems as we go. Now we have 2 problems on slide 5. Students are going to be moving these number chips into the correct place to solve the multiplication. And each one of these, of their answers, their products, is going to be linked to a letter in a yellow heart. So on the very last slide, they're going to solve a riddle by matching their answer to that letter. So to move the number chips, you're just going to click and hold on the edge, and then they can move them into the correct circle to do the multiplication. So 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 3 again, and then 3 times 3, 3 times 1, and then 3 times 7 is 21. Now they have all the numbers they need on every slide. So if numbers all work, they can pretty much ensure that they have a correct answer. If they get to the end of the problem and the numbers aren't working, that means they made an error somewhere and they need to go back and check. So they're going to do the same thing on the next slide. When they get to slide 7, they're shown what to do when they get a 2-digit product. So here, if we multiply 4 times 7, we get 28. Well, we're going to leave the 8. The 2 is going to move to the column to the left above that number. So when we multiply 4 times 4, we're going to get 16 and then add that 2. So 16 plus 2 would give us 18. The 8 is going to stay there. The 1 is going to go to the next column to the left above that number. Then when we multiply 6 times 4, we get 24 and add that 1. So we get a final product of 2,588. They're going to be doing that on the next few slides. So the next 2 slides, we've actually got small chips for the number that they're going to carry. So 8 times 6 is 48. We're going to leave the 8. We're going to carry the 4. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 4 is 44. We're going to leave the 4 and carry a 4. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 4 is 28. Again, leave the 8, carry the 2. And then 8 times 4 is 32, plus 2 is 34. And we get a product of 34,848. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the next slide. And then we're going to multiply a 3-digit by a 2-digit number. So we're going to break this up into 2 different parts. We're going to multiply 312 times 3 and then 312 times 20. So we'll have 2 different products that we're going to add together. So for the first row, 3 times 2, 3 times 1, and 3 times 3 will give us a product of 936. 312 times 20, that means we have to start that second row with a 0 because we're multiplying by 20. And then 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 3 is 6. So we've got our 2 products. We're going to add them together, and we get 7,176. The students have a few problems here that they're going to solve with the number chips. And again, if the numbers aren't working when they get toward the end, they know they've made an error and they need to go back and check. Then we get a 4-digit by a 3-digit multiplication. So if our second number has 3 digits, the smaller of the two, then, or they can both be 3-digit numbers, then we're going to have 3 columns that we're going to add together. So we've got 3 products here. We're going to multiply 2,322 times 3, then 2,322 times 40. So we're going to start that second row with a 0, and then 2,322 times 100. So we start that third row with 2 zeros that are already there. So they're going to finish that multiplication. They've got one more to do like that. And then they've got a riddle on the last slide. So these should be all of their products that they've gotten on the previous slides. They're going to go back to those previous slides, find the letter in the yellow heart that matches that answer. They're going to type it in above its answer, and it should solve the riddle, how much did the pirate pay for his peg and hook? So that is a digital lesson, multiplying multi-digit numbers with number chips, and this is the pirate version.